Well, Ripsley won.
So, hey, everybody! Here we are commenting the spoiler review of the episode number 4 of the book of Boba Fett. And, wow, that foreshadowing, eh? That foreshadowing. You're gonna see what we'll be talking about. Because by the end of the episode, they're gonna blow your mind. But we start in the middle of a flashback, and it's very justified, I have to say. Very justified part of the episode. Also an important one, but we're finally catching up. We're finally catching up to Boba Fett in current events, so that's a good thing. It's just justified because we needed to see how Fennec Shan and Boba Fett met, and Ming-Na Wen keeps stealing the show. Basically, it's almost not the book as Boba Fett as it was in Hawkeye. In Hawkeye, this is a bit the Fennec Shan show. But still, still don't go away yet because we're still good things, good things to talk about. And yeah, we go to Boba Fett riding the Dune Sea. And as soon as you see these flashbangs in the night, you are taken back to Mando. You're taken back to Tatooine with the episode on Mando and Toro Calican, in which Fennec Shan was shot and left for dead. And we finally get confirmation that it was my man, taking her in. And what I didn't like it so much is the mother scene, where you knew it happened. So they were basically setting the base of Fennec Shan being brought there. I understand though, it's show don't tell. I'm a big fan of that, and many people are, I think, in storytelling. So I think it's necessary. The Ripper Doc, if you want to call him that, for you stealing a bit of terminology from Cyberpunk, he was kind of cool. Okay. But Doc, you stitch your patients back up. She was in the desert. Sand gets into your circuits. Jeez. Man. And for the life of me, I don't understand why Boba Fett had to take her back to the desert. She is kinda known, okay. Apparently there's a big bounty on her head, which we remember from Mando too. Nobody else cares after that. Left for dead, isn't she? Anyway. We get a justification, even if it's weak, but a justification of why Boba is going soft in principle. And I happen to agree a lot with Fennec Shan in this episode. Because he's saying, you're going soft, you're not making good decisions, yada yada yada. Are we setting the basis for a betrayal, sorry, I got Aussie for a second, later on? Hey Yugoslavich. Should have closed my Steam before this. Well, anyways. We get this weak justification, but I have to agree on the statement from Boba that without the tribe, you can only get so far. And that's very true. That's very true. You can be the toughest, badass bounty hunter in the galaxy, but you need people to rely on, basically. I think we're developing a character in this. It's not just the narration that was in Legends or what we saw in the movies. We're developing a guy that was literally like 4 minutes in the original movies. And now with speaking roles and everything re-rolled after the prequels. That's fine. But I think we're developing the character. It's not all that bad. Is it what you wish it was? Probably not, if you're a hardcore fan. But it's not as terrible, and I think we're developing. So there is a narrative justification of this. There is. So, okay, they storm Jabba's palace. They are recovering Slave One because it's Slave One. And I could have done without the kitchen scene, of course. It feels like a bit like, okay, more than a filler, it gave me Home Alone vibes, especially when the mouse catcher droid comes in. It's brought us some memes, I'm not gonna say no. For example, this guy. This guy here is a cook droid. It's a cook droid, but he does the same thing that General Grievous did with his arms because he's got multiple arms or something. And the meme is just so irresistible. Thank you, Reddit. I mean, they're great. If you're not in the Book of Boba Fett subreddit, you should join. It's very fun. But that's the thing. It was a bit Home Alone in the end of the scene, and I say, okay, this is Boba for kids all over again, you know. But I don't know. Well, it was short and to the point, so kind of like a nudge, you know, to younger audiences and such. Also because there is violence in this. There's not a drop of blood in good Disney tradition. So that's what it is. That's what it is, man. What's this again? Oh yeah, this comes next. The shootout was spectacular, but I have to say Fennec Shand is too much on the spotlight. And appreciating as I do Ming-Na Wen, it's still the Boba Fett show. Give us some action with Boba Fett. I mean, the guy is badass. If he needs to take a droid, he takes it out. So why not showing us more of that? I don't know. The Nikto bikers here, this scene on the picture was epic. That is the Boba Fett I want. Him being badass, getting revenge on the Nikto, man. That's the Boba Fett I'm looking for. And yes, it's Slave One Disney. I don't know whose memo is that or who sneaked it into the script. Maybe it's Filoni and Favreau. I don't care. I honestly don't care if it was him or Pablo Hidalgo himself or Kathleen Kennedy, she who shan't be named. But it's Slave One. The name of the ship is Slave One. I don't care of anything else. What was it? Firecracker? Anyways. Doesn't matter. The Sarlacc scene. Justifiable? I'm not sure. I think it was all an excuse to give us this shot. Quite exactly. Because it's like, whoa, spectacular. It's absolutely spectacular. But still, okay, you lose like memory. Maybe there was like when the Jawas hit him in the head. But I don't see much justification to go look inside of the Sarlacc for the armor. It doesn't make much sense. Meh. I don't know. I think it was visually a high point, but narratively not so strong, you know. Not so strong. Well. I think the flashbacks are going to end at this point. We are set at a point where the droid has said you are fully healed. I mean, the Bacta tank is not going to do much else for you. So how ugly you are, man. Just taking a piss. But yeah, I think we're ending those. Let's see. Yeah, basically there's not much else to look for. I mean, they know Mando has the armor at this point. It would only be adding another cameo by Timothy Olyphant, which I don't think he wants to do. And there's just too little time, you know. In this, at least in the season. I'm not gonna say the show because this show really might need a season 2 to give us a complete arc. But we're getting there. We're getting a good story, but the problem is for the few episodes we got, is too slow paced, you know. It's a little slow paced. Anyways. Present time. We're going back to Mos Espa. We see Black Chrysanthemum is chilling. He's got his eyes on a few Trandoshans. And if you know the lore, Wookiees have motive for dismembering this slaver kind of race. So, yeah, despite the Twi'lek trying to calm things down, Black Chrysanthemum doesn't give any fucks. He pulled his arm all together. It doesn't matter. So Boba does a smart thing. He witnesses the whole ordeal and says, I think you're in need of a job. And that's pretty badass, because the next scene we're gonna see is the summit of all the gangs, the Nikto, the Trandoshans, and the Aqualish. And they say, we saw part of that, or at least we heard it in the trailers, right? Why do we owe loyalty to you? I'm gonna do whatever I want. And he gave you 2 reasons not to fuck with him. Black Chrysanthemum, numero uno. And the freaking Rancor, number 2. It was very cool to place the table right on top of the of the Rancor trap. That was very inspired. I liked it. I didn't realize at first, but then you remember. It's a good thing about the visuals in this show. Every scenario, every scene is very well thought. And I'm gonna blow your mind with a thing before the end of the video about, scene placement and everything. So yeah, basically that is kind of the end of the episode. Because the gangs compromise. Oh, you want to wage war on the Pike Syndicate? Don't get me in between. I'm gonna be neutral. I'm not gonna stab you in the back because you got these 2 monsters at your back. But I'm not gonna fight for you either. This is your beef with them. This is your beef. So we'll see what happens, honestly, and what happens. A lot of foreshadowing. First in the episode when Ming-Na Wen, or rather Fennec Shan, questions that the Nikto could have killed a tribe of Tusken Raiders. I mean, they're tough motherfuckers. These people are tough motherfuckers. So, okay. They massacred the Nikto anyway, so there's no problem with that, but we'll see what happens, honestly. The bikers are out of the picture. And second foreshadowing was, of course, and this was obvious, Mando's theme, Ludwig Göransson's epic flute at the end of the episode saying, we need muscle, okay, we are going to get the best there is, and it's Mando. Well, at this point, it's almost assured that he's going to show up in the next episode. We'll see how it goes. Maybe him, maybe other Mandalorians, maybe the whole troop from the original show, the Covert. That'd be cool. But surprise, next week. We'll see. I just have a last thing to say. And you remember this, right? You remember my girl Emilia Clarke, where she was my girl, and focus here on the pendant. I've just talked about scene placement, right, on this show, and how everything appears to make a point in the scenery, that nothing is left to chance. Focus on the pendant and tell me this doesn't remind you of that. I mean, there's no guarantee, of course, and this is from a Reddit user. not this one. Sorry. I thought I had it ready, man. There we go. Dead-Eye Duck. Dude, you're the man if you came up with that on your own. This is epic. This is actually epic, and it's telling you someone big is behind the Pikes. Because the Pikes, all during the Clone Wars and stuff, they were a small-time syndicate. They were easily overrun by Maul and the rest. But if Kira inherited the syndicate, the Crimson Dawn syndicate, from Maul when he died, well, now that's gonna make things very interesting, and that's why I think we're gonna need it season 2. Because in 3 episodes, I'm not sure you're gonna get enough to do the muscle and your war. If you remember, the longest arcs in Mando took 1 to 3 episodes, something like that. Well, especially season 2, the latter part. We'll see how it ends, right? But it is pretty badass. This is pretty badass. Anyways, guys, I think that's it for now. And hold on. There we are. Better. I want to change the scenery before ending the video. Thank you for watching. Please click on the subscribe button and like if you liked it. And again, thank you for everyone that's been joining us the channel these last few weeks. I'll keep on making content even after the show is over. We'll find something else to watch. I've been finishing The Expanse, but I think the analysis is way too complicated to fit in a short video. So we'll see how we do that. But honestly, I'm really happy how things are turning out. Big shout to Freaky Doctor, because he's been teaching me from experience how to use some tools for editing, basic editing and such. And if anything, I hope you have a good time with watching me, alright? See you later.